Now, Prime Minister Narendra Modi is on Mission Manipur. The Prime Minister is set to pay a visit to the northeastern state today, where he is going to unveil projects worth rupees 8,500 crore for both hill and valley districts. Now, Prime Minister Modi is scheduled to visit both Imphal and Churachandpur, where he is expected to lead a road show and also address a gathering of thousands of people. Now, to ensure safety, certain items have been strictly prohibited inside these venues, including keys, pens, water bottles, bags, handkerchiefs, umbrellas, lighters, matchboxes, cloth pieces, sharp objects, and also any form of arms or ammunition. Now, the state has been fortified with very heavy security presence every 100 meters. In fact, over 10,000 policemen, CRPF, BSF, Assam Rifles and disaster management personnel have been deployed at both the venues as a part of this multi-layer security apparatus. Now, Prime Minister here is scheduled to arrive in Churachandpur by helicopter from Mizoram, the first stop of his tour, to address a rally at the Peace Ground and launch projects worth rupees 7,300 crore. And then this itinerary will shift to Imphal's historic Kangla Fort, where he will inaugurate another projects worth rupees 1,200 crores. In fact, Prime Minister is also expected to interact with the internally displaced people of the state. Now, in a big northeast push, Prime Minister will also be visiting Mizoram. In fact, he's already undertaken the visit to the state. And further, he will also be visiting to Assam, West Bengal and Bihar from, of course, today, 13th to 15th of September. Now, my colleague Sabyasachi Roy has sent us a ground report on this historic visit. Let's take a look.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi is going to visit Manipur for the first time since the violence began in 2023. And Prime Minister Narendra Modi will first visit Churachandpur at around 11:30, after which he will come at the Kangla Fort. Meanwhile, there has been massive arrangement of security across Imphal and Churachandpur, and Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be visiting Churachandpur at the Peace Ground at around 11:30. And in state capital Imphal, the state administration has put up huge hoardings and posters of Prime Minister Narendra Modi along the 7-kilometer stretch from the Kangla Fort to the airport, and Prime Minister will address a gathering of around 15,000 people at the Kangla Fort, a place of cultural and political significance for Manipur. And Churachandpur, where the Kuki-Zu people live, and Imphal, a stronghold of Methi people, are around 61 kilometers apart, while people in Churachandpur are visibly enthusiastic about Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit in Imphal. Though they welcome the visit, are skeptical about the outcomes. Meanwhile, on your screen, you can see the massive layer of security arrangements outside the Kangla Fort. Not only the Manipur Police, the CRPF, the Rapid Action Force, the commandos, all of them are present, and at a stretch of 100 meters, there are security personnel present throughout Imphal as well as in Churachandpur.
So, viewers, those are the preparations that have been made on the ground for Prime Minister's visit. Now, joining me on the broadcast is Rami Niranjan Desai, author and distinguished fellow at India Foundation. Also joining us is Colonel Shanti Kumar Sapam, spokesperson, Methi Heritage Society. So, thank you to both of you for joining us here on News9. Now, let me start with Colonel Shanti Kumar here. Colonel, how do you think is the community looking at this visit, the Methi community, and also what are their expectations from a visit that comes 2 years after ethnic violence broke out?
Good morning, News9. Thank you for having me in this. The situation in Imphal as well as Churachandpur is absolutely normal, and the public is waiting for the Prime Minister to come and to welcome him in a very deep-hearted way. And things are shaping up well. Security arrangement has been done very nicely, so that there is no untoward incidents. Democracy, a lot of criticism. Some people in favor, some people in let's say against. This all happen in democracy. So what I say is it's after a long time, though it's taken a little long, but it's a very welcome move by the central government. The chief prime minister is coming, honorable prime minister is coming here, and we are all looking forward to welcome him and meet him and see his actions and various positive steps. And after he has taken over as the prime minister, as far as the Northeast is concerned, a lot of visibility is taking place in the Northeast, and especially in Manipur, as I had mentioned before so many times, that 2022 was a very happening year in Manipur, as well in early 2023. It was very happening. Manipur was visible in the world, with Miss Femina happening, then Tri-Nation football, then Durand Cup, and various activities taking place. So suddenly it just shattered, and then things went off like this. And in fact, I can understand the prime minister also must have been very badly, very deeply disturbed with the development on 3rd May 2023. And probably I have reconciled myself, though I have been a follower of the honorable prime minister since he was a chief minister in Gujarat. I have been following him very closely, but for some time I was a little away because I thought that he should take immediate action. But then, after studying the situations, the complications, the complexity, the geopolitical angle and various ethnic problems, I could understand why he had to act in that way. That is what my personal view. And he has the central government, as I feel, they have done well. And the situation is, it's under control as of now. Controlling the situation is very important, and thereafter, all the positive things will follow thereafter. This is what
All
I
right,
want
so
to
optimism on the ground
commit.
for this visit. Now, let me also bring in Dr. Desai into this. Dr. Desai, the choice of Churachandpur and Imphal, both the epicenters of violence, does carry political symbolism here because there is this effort to send out a balancing signal. How do you look at this visit?
Good morning. First of all, I think, this visit is a very, very important visit. It's come in a very timely manner. The reason it's come in a very timely manner is because we've seen the last 6 months bring in a certain amount of stability and peace that Manipur hadn't seen for the last 2 years. So I think the security forces have done a good job. I think this is an appropriate time for the Prime Minister to come, because I'm sure the Prime Minister and his team would not have liked the security forces to divert their attention from what is very, very important at this time, which is sustaining peace. And therefore, now that it has been done, the Prime Minister is not only coming to announce some very important development packages, which is going to bring the focus back on the future roadmap, which I think all of us here on the panel would agree will only come with greater, better, more efficient development. And I think that is the message that the Prime Minister is giving. As it being in Imphal and in Churachandpur, I think, of course, he is the Prime Minister of this country. He is an unbiased voice. Therefore, this is a balance that he's striking. He's also going to be meeting some of the IDPs, and I think that is a very, very important move towards gaining complete stability in the state, because finally it is very important to not just people in the state but people across the country to see our internally displaced brothers and sisters go back to their homes, their rightful homes, and feel safe wherever they have had to move from. For them to be able to, really be the symbols of peace for Manipur. And I think that is what we are going to see develop in the near future post the Prime Minister's visit. So I absolutely am delighted that the Prime Minister is going to be in Manipur. Of course, let me also say this, there will always be some naysayers, there will always be political opposition making a political play of his visit. But I think we should keep our political differences aside and welcome the Prime Minister to Manipur and really look at this as a path towards sustained peace and stability.
Point, let me also bring in Colonel into this conversation. Sir, do you think this visit could also be the first step towards healing and towards bridging that trust gap that has come into being, within the communities in the state?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, that is what I mean. You know, he's the prime minister of this great country, the largest democracy in the world. And, he's been respected all over the world so nicely. And, he has carried that kind of charisma with him. And when he comes over here, I feel really proud that my chief minister, honorable prime minister is going to come over here, and a lot of healing touch will be there when he comes over here. And my only submission was there, if he had come little earlier, I would have been much better. But then now also, the thing is this thing, because you have to look for a conducive situation. When he comes over here, you don't, people will not, he will not, or let's say the sentiment would not any untoward incident. So I think this is the right time that has come. A lot of healing touch will be made by him. That is what I personally feel, and from the core of my heart, I welcome him. And as I said before, democracy is there, so people may have different, may pass different comment. But what I feel is, even the MP, even the MPs from the opposition, that means, let's say, we have two MPs from the Congress party, even they should come down and then welcome, because he's an institution of the country. He's an institution. The prime minister's post is an institution, and they should have shut away the differences, and they are colleagues in the parliament. They are colleagues in the parliament, and even both they should welcome him, come down on ground and welcome him, meet him, and the opposition MLAs should be this thing. See, we all are striving for our country to be shining in this world. So in that case, I think everybody should, differences can be sorted out on the table.